James, congratulations. I would say probably a textbook performance today. The only thing missing, maybe more goals.
The opportunities were there, but as I said to the players in the build-up to this double-headed weekend, was that we need to be keeping clean sheets so that whatever goals we score win us games. And like I said, we won the game with just one goal because we've kept a clean sheet. So in that sense, it was a great credit to the team. But you're right, we could have had. I can't remember all the chances, but I remember.
Well, there's 17.
Josh Amos had two headers that he'd be disappointed didn't hit the target. John Marsden's clean through 2v1, wrong choice, poor touch, and then another opportunity for John. So them two would be disappointed that they didn't get themselves in the score sheet. If we'd won 3-0, would it have been flattering? I don't think so. But 1-0 looks professional, and like I said, what was important is that we played the game out really well and very professionally. So it wasn't the complete performance, but it's a professional 3 points and 2 great clean sheets, 4 points. So we're happy. We're moving in the right direction.
You probably could have scored more off set pieces as well today. You had 11 corners in that game. It looked frustrating. Maybe you didn't make more of those. I know how hard you work on them.
Well, we've won the game today on a set play. I've had to challenge a few players about direct free kicks and making sure that you hit the target, cross free kicks into good areas, corners into good areas. And it was a little bit indifferent. I mean, both John and Danny overhit and underhit a few, but like I said, what we're looking for is just a consistency of purpose and a consistency of the quality. And when that's there, you can see the threat. And a little bit like Saturday's game, as we used to say when we were back in the days, 2006, 7 and 8, when we were a footballing side, the only way teams tried to stop us was foul us. Yeah. So therefore we have to be good at set plays and hurt them from set plays. And I think we're showing that in the last 2 performances that we could score goals from set plays.
Pleased for Danny Lloyd to get his goal. He's one of the few players we've had at Edgeley Park, I think, in recent years who'll get in behind defences and really stretch them. And he deserved his goal today, particularly that first half performance. It was terrific.
Yeah, I mean, what we wanted, we said it'd be programme notes before the Brackley game. I wanted a rip-roaring start, a kind of positive start, a little bit like the Alfredton game. And apart from, I think, Gary starting ahead of Courtney, was the same team as Alfredton, so that's nice to have those players back. But we're conscious Kay wouldn't have 90 minutes in him because of his injury. But yeah, we got a little bit of joy, caused some problems down that side. But Danny's one of them great players that look, he can create something out of nothing, like he did here against Brackley. Yeah. So it was a constant threat. He was very unfortunate not to score. Keeper made a good save with his foot from another good chance in the first half. So. Yeah, we're pleased because, like you said, the front 3-4 players were a goal threat today, and as a team we looked really solid.
Pleased, obviously, to get Big K back today, and he looked fit as well, didn't he?
Yeah, surprisingly, this is where you've kind of sometimes got to strike the balance between fitness and freshness, and sometimes players, if they have a little bit of a break and if you like work on strength and aerobic stuff, it allows the rest of the body to recover. But Kay and the physio have been working extremely hard to maintain his fitness, and he's worked really hard at home and away from the club to maintain his fitness and to improve his strength and his conditioning. And like I said, it was good to have him back today. And we were conscious of Josh being a little bit raw and a step up and the demands on that, but I thought he was fantastic when he came on as well. And it's nice to have 2 players that that can do the job as that number 9, and then we've got players that can play off them like Danny and John Marsden. It's good to have Glenn Rule back. Disappointed to lose Adam Thomas with a knee injury that he's picked up and he's carrying since Cheadle Heath, Nomad's pre-season game. But yeah, there's threat there now, but what was really impressive today, I think, was the work rate of Gary Stockport and Lewis Montrose. If you like, what we've been previously using 3 players to do that job, we got 2 to do it today, and they put a massive shift in today.
You mentioned right at the start of this about keeping a clean sheet and how important that was. Your 2 centre-halves today, obviously pivotal to that, Clark and Smalley. Are they now your first choice partnership, or are you still happy to mix and match with those positions?
Well, you can't. You can change a winning side because of injuries and problems, but no, they've done well today. I think they're both showing a little bit of a nervous edge to them and a lack of quality edge at time, but in general terms they've done well. I was talking to them about for example, Ashley Williams, when he was here and he was lacking in confidence and heading out the club and down the leagues, all I said to him was just keep it simple, clear your lines, win your headers, and don't do anything that draws attention to yourself. And I thought today we did a couple of things that were de-energised us. I think in the first half, Smallies had a poor touch and they broke on the goal. Clarkie's poor pass into midfield. So when I said to Ashley Williams, just keep it no nonsense, a reminder of people like Michael Flynn, who are legends here, and all they do is they defend properly and clear the lines, and there's no nonsense. And I think once they realise that they're here to defend and it's no nonsense, they're not here to play. They can play at the right time, but they're here no nonsense. And I think the chances that they created today was when we were poor in terms of taking touches and little headers into poor areas. So they're still learning and still improving, and like I said, consistently they've proven themselves at this level now, the two of them. They've come from the evil stick recently, but there's more potential to come, because as they improve and learn from the experiences that they're getting, they'll understand that they can be a much more powerful partnership at this level. But in terms of whether that's my first choice, we've obviously got Mark Ross, who can play at centre half, and Sam Minahan, who can play at right back, but it's nice to have Sam, pace of Sam, to be able to utilise that in an attacking role. And there'd been an interesting team selection if Adam Thomas had been fit, because he gives us something on that side. But I'm really pleased that we've got a very well balanced side with lots of players that can cover each other, and we're not, apart from maybe Scott being out of left back and being a little bit thrown out of shape in that regard, I think we're in a good position as a squad, and hopefully the squad improves as the season goes on, because I think there's a lot more to come yet.
And it is a squad game, as we know. Glenn Rule included in it today. He's done enough now to get back in the 16, has he?
Well, I can't fault him on this. I mean, obviously as players return to fitness, it's a difficult one. I think with us going for a 4-2-3-1 formation with John Marsden and playing Sam Minahan as a 7 and Danny Lloyd, you're looking for an option in the attacking midfield role. I wouldn't ask Glenn Rule to play on the left or the right, but as a 10 he can certainly do that. I think last year him and Lewis played in a kind of dual role, but with Glenn being the one that's more adventurous, which Gary did in the first half for us. But as the game wore on, I thought that the gaps were open in midfield, and I thought if we can get Gary to stay alongside Lewis and get Glenn in there, we still have a threat to pick up the ball, win balls in that area and break from there. But Glenn showed a great appetite today. It's been a tough time for him, because as I said to him, since I've been at the club, I've not seen a full game out of him. He come back to fitness, but he's been plagued with this injury that he's taken the whole summer to get over. He's behind on fitness, and Craig Carney's a good lad and a very fit lad, but if he doesn't have the impact, then you've got to give other players an opportunity. So they'll be playing here tomorrow in the reserves, but I think we know Glenn's got a lot more to come, and the reception he got today I think was fantastic and showed the performances perhaps that I've not seen previously, and he's a good player to have in the squad, and like I said, we're conscious of just working him back to fitness, working him into the fold, and like I said, if he'll get more and more opportunities as the season goes on.
It's been a really good bank holiday weekend for you. Now that local derby against Altrincham, I don't know if form goes out the window. They've been beaten again today, and of course Neil Young has left as manager at Altrincham. He's not the only managerless club at the moment, and an early time for Neil to depart Moss Lane, wasn't it?
Yeah, I think I was really disappointed to see both Neil and Liam go, and especially when they've added on to that the fact that they no longer want to manage anymore. I think it sort of epitomises the real demands that you have in balancing your work life, your family life, and your, if you like, the first job, and the part-time management. So I'm really disappointed for them that they've come to this stage where they don't want to be involved in the game anymore. Steadybridge, obviously, lower budget, high demands, always going to be a tough season. I think Altrincham slightly different. Major changeover, haven't really adapted to the drop-in level. 3 good results to start with, or reasonable results, and but unfortunately the massive injuries, losing your centre half to an ACL. You had the same problem here with Danny Hurst. They can be critical because you got a soft spot in your back line or in your back five, and it's hard to win games. I'm disappointed to see them go. Like I said, it just reminds me of how demanding it is at this level, and how much toll it can take on your life. And fortunately, I've got a very understanding wife and a very understanding family, and I have to work hard at all aspects of my life. But I think it'd be great now on the back of this that we're building confidence within our group, building confidence within our fans. So we're going to Altrincham now again with great excitement, great enthusiasm to see us continue the form we're showing at the moment.
It's very well said. Thank you, James.